right, so Taylor, are you ready for what everyone wants to hear?
I am.
Voice acting, the one that everyone came here for?
I am so totally ready. I'm really excited.
All right, so got any questions or question that you'd like to answer for us?
All right, I have one question. Please, guys, if you have any questions, preferably voice acting related, but I mean, it can be anything within reason. Ask, because we like questions. But so question of this episode. Should I can say who it's from, right? Should I?
Yeah,
okay,
go ahead.
This is coming from our good friend Laura, and she asks us, what is the best way to get over the awkwardness of yelling or screaming at your microphone? I don't mind playfully yelling when I'm on a Skype call and there are people around, but when I'm all alone and I'm recording a line where a character yells, I can never get it right because I just can't build up enough guts to actually just put my all into it. So what's your advice? And I guess I'm going to start with this, with my answer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually really interesting because this is something that I mean, I think every voice actor struggles with this at some point. And it's something that
Definitely.
I'm sort of just learning to get over. And I guess you sort of have to, this is kind of a sucky answer, but I guess I just sort of got to a point where I just was really like, okay, I don't like the way it's sounding when I'm not putting my all into it. And so you just kind of have to, it's a thing you kind of have to get used to. Like, it is really awkward the first couple of times you do it. Because you're kind of like, oh, I'm yelling. Are my neighbors going to call the police thinking that I'm getting hurt or killed or something?
I feel that way all the time.
I know that feeling.
I live in an apartment. I have an excuse to feel that way.
Yeah.
Because you know how narrow these walls are in an apartment.
Oh,
I live
do,
on the third
actually.
floor, so almost every angle of this building can hear me.
Yeah. So I felt just really weird about it. And eventually I was just like, you know what? If I suck it up and do it, it's going to sound better. And so I just sucked it up and I did it. And it took some getting used to, but after a while, I was just like, okay, whatever. The cops haven't knocked on my door yet, so clearly no one's that concerned.
Can't say the same over here.
Oh, we're going to have to hear that story, Caleb.
But for a different day.
Yeah, so my advice would just be, it's going to be awkward. Just try your best, give it your all, and get used to it, and you'll be fine.
Basically, suck it up, okay?
Suck it up.
That's not what I'm saying, Caleb. That is not what I'm saying.
Get over yourself!
Okay,
Gosh.
Caleb, what would your advice be?
I summed up her spiel in
Mr.
3 seconds.
Know-it-all, Caleb, what would your advice be?
Well, aside from suck it up, I would say what helps me out in doing those things, I agree with what you said, Taylor, not to undermine it, because I do agree. But what I usually do is I just gradually get louder. Like, I'll start at a small yell and then just get louder as I go to get used to hearing myself loud. Or I'll play really loud music to get my ears adjusted, because most people are just scared. It's actually a tactic that police use before they fire a gun. If you've noticed this, they always scream or they say something. I think they're supposed to do that anyway, and like, you're not just going to fire at somebody without telling them. But point being is that they yell so they can get their ears adjusted so they don't just like shoot a gun off, which is really freaking
Get down! So that explains Arnold Schwarzenegger's line.
Exactly. That's what he's doing. He's letting everyone know and helping his ears out. So that's what I would say. Just get around a loud noise or gradually increase your volume so you get used to hearing yourself.
Put your ear in front of a subwoofer.
Yeah.
Listen
Yes.
to dubstep.
Turn it up as loud as it can go, and then you just won't hear anything. You'll hear a phone for
I know. Try to talk
2
over
weeks straight.
that sound. Try to be louder than that sound, and it won't seem so.
Have a
strange
screaming match.
Yeah.
with yourself.
There you go, with yourself. There's my advice.
That's cool.
Do you have any advice?
I never thought of that,
Yeah.
actually.
Jason,
The more you know.
what would your advice be?
My advice, well, like, basically same thing as Taylor said. I mean, just keep at it. I mean, that's what I did. I mean, I wanted to become a voice actor at the most random of times. Like, I was watching the Oron High School Host Club, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be a voice actor now. Just out of nowhere. And I started doing things, and when I first got my first script for anything, really, I was just like, I gotta scream, because I was doing a Toradora fandom with Sakura, right?
Old school.
And I had to do the scene where I was laughing for a long time. I was
Oh,
just going,
oh, that scene.
doing that for the longest time.
I remember this, I
If
think.
any of you have seen Toradora, you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about when Yusaku's doing his laugh.
Kitamura laugh.
That was awkward for me.
It's
It
patented.
was very awkward. Oh, I got it?
No, I said it's patented.
Oh.
The laugh's patented. You have to pay every time you laugh like
What
that.
Caleb's saying, Jason, is no, you did a horrible job. Because he's the
No, you did great.
token
I mean,
Oh my
I think you did great.
goodness.
Yeah, anyways, that's what I say. Just keep trying. Anyways, just move on.
Kara?
Kara, what do you have?
I was just gonna say, I've only had one part that I had to kind of yell, and I actually never heard back from the person I worked for, so I don't know if anything ever developed from it. So I don't know if you can even
That's
find that
depressing.
yell.
And that file is available for download in the description if you want to go check. You wanna go-
But I will say, as
Kara,
far
you have
as-
no choice.
I
You
mean,
better have
I
it.
think this applies to any. Well, okay, yelling first. I was gonna say, it really is what Taylor just said. You just kind of keep pushing through it. Just keep doing it. And I do think also what Caleb said about putting yourself in a loud. If you can listen to something really loud and then just try to yell over that, it kind of makes you feel like you're not just yelling for yelling's sake. You're yelling to have to be louder than something else.
Yeah.
But then kind of, I thought about it. Just any awkward kind of sounds like grunting or groaning.
Yo, so awkward.
Which I had to do.
Oh, my favorite.
With just awkward sounds in general. For me, what helped was actually having someone listen and to just kind of hear what they had to say about it. Like, oh, well, that, just so
That sounded seductive. Don't do it again.
I know. So, trying not to, if it's like, I had to act like I was lifting a dead weight body. And the comment that someone told me when they heard me do it on mic, they're like, well, you sounded something between constipated and sexual. And I thought, all right.
Didn't Taylor say
What?
That happened to me too when I was recording. For those of you who have seen Oron High School Host Club, I was recording a scene for a fandom of that, and it was from the very first episode where he knocks over the vase. And she makes all these
yeah.
really awkward noises,
Yes,
like she's like,
I remember this.
and I sent it to the person. And the way that I record a lot of times is, if I'm allowed to, I will just kind of go and do a bunch of takes of the line or the noise or whatever, and then yeah. And so I just did a bunch of takes of that, and I sent the lines to the person who was mixing the scene. And it was a friend of mine, and we got on Skype the next day, and she was like, Taylor, those noises just sounded so, I don't even know how to describe how awkward those noises sounded. So, yeah, I completely understand where you're coming from.
So it might be awkward to do that, to ask someone to listen to you, but honestly, it might give you the best feedback on how to adjust in the moment instead of taking a bunch of takes and wondering, I don't know if any of these sound good. If you feel comfortable with somebody, doing them live with them, and that way you can get instant feedback to improve. But I know not everyone's comfortable letting someone else hear them, but it's just an idea I had.
It's definitely something you're going to have to get used
Yeah,
to. though.
someone
I mean,
else-
if you
yeah.
do get into the voice acting world, might as well just have someone hear it now, because you're going to have the guy on the other side of the booth,
Yeah.
and he's going to be watching
just
everything
staring at
you
you
do.
like,
Who knows? There might even be recording it, and you're going to find it in the blooper reel on the DVD when it comes
Yep.
out. So,
so just get ready. So might as well just get someone on call with you and record and
Yep.
let them laugh and laugh.
Yeah.
It's okay.
someone's going to have to
Yeah.
hear it.
Yep.
All right. Well, there's that. That was actually good.
That was a great question.
little discussion
That was a
there.
great
That was a-
question.
Yeah.
Thank you, Laura.
Good question, Laura. Yeah.
Thank you, Laura.
Yay.
Yes.
I agree.
Okay, so